Hello, this video is going to show you how to manipulate a cube, starting with a cube in Tinkercad so that you can make puzzle pieces of any dimensions and bends and whatnot with relative ease. So here's what you do. I've got this puzzle piece right here. I'm going to click on it, and when I click on it, notice the little boxes here. When I field over the boxes, some numbers pop up. So if I click on this one here, this is 20 and 20. Basically, this is showing me this is 20 by 20. So if I scoot the box over this way, there we go. Those are 20 by 20. And this is a cube, so it's 20 by 20 by 20 all the way. If I orient the box this way, then I can see the height of the box. So what's really neat is I can make this 60 tall. So I'm going to do this, make it 60 tall. So I'll just click on the 20 and type in 60, and now it's 60 tall. Now let's say I want to put another block coming off of here that's 40. So I want to put a block up here. So of course I'm going to grab a block and move it over. Now to move a block up and down, I just click on this little arrow here and I can move the block all that I want. And what a lot of kids do is they try to figure out exactly where it's supposed to be. But if you notice, there's a number on the right. See that number, 41, 39, 37, it's going down, 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 or up. That is how far the bottom is from the ground here, or the surface. So this one here is 60, so if I wanted to move this to up here, the bottom would be at 40 because it's 20 by 20 by 20. So if I click on the little guy here, move him up a little bit, and then here I'm just going to type in 40. So now I know that he is 40 off the ground. Now, what I find to be handy is using the little arrows on your keyboard and watching the shadow down here to orient my block really well. Doesn't make it exactly perfect, but it helps me get there pretty good. So I'm going to use my keys to move it. And notice how the shadow's getting farther apart or closer. So when the shadow's right about there, then I use my other key and it looks pretty good. So I'm going to rotate this and check. And I'm almost there. So I'll kind of go like that. And because we're not stretching these, we're just making them bigger or smaller using the keys, it's a lot easier to ensure that it's going to be perfect. So this one here is about right. I might need to move this in one more. Nope. See how you can tell that it overlapped right there? So I know I need to be right there. Now I'm flush. So this one here, I'm going to just touch it. And then this little number, this is how long it is. I'm going to click here and make that 40. And notice when I did that, it basically, the one that I had expanded to 40, but it became part of this one here. So all I have to do is just use my keys and kind of shift it over. There we go. So now I have a perfectly aligned piece. So I'm going to add another piece to the bottom here. So I'll take a cube over, and all I want to do, I want it to go on the bottom. So the bottom is 40, which means the bottom of this cube needs to be 20 high. So I'm just going to pull them up and change the 7 to 20. So now I know he's the right height. And I can watch the shadows and go in there. That should be about right. And I'm going to rotate it just to look. See how fast that was? Good. Now I want this to be one piece, one complete, you know what, I'm going to actually make this even more complex. I'm going to put this guy here. I'm going to raise him up to 20 again. So I just pull him up, change that 5 to 20. I'm going to use my arrows and I'm watching the shadows. And I think that's close to being right. Let's double check. That looks pretty good, I think. Yeah. Look good? Looks good. All right. So I want this to be one big piece. Notice how it has the lines that separate the blocks. Here's what I need to do to make this one piece. I'm going to click, left click, and field over everything. That highlights it all. Then I'm going to click this little guy here and watch what happens. It's going to group it and it's going to make it one piece. So now I can move this guy around and he's going to basically be where he is. So now I'm going to make another piece and I want to nestle maybe a green one right in here. So it's actually pretty simple to do. So I'll pull it over here. I'll change the color to green. I want the bottom to be at 20 because that's where the bottom of these are. So I'll just pull this guy up, make it 20, and I can use my arrow keys and slide them right in there. Kind of boom, 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 boom. This, pretty close. Of course, I can zoom in and even make it look better. So I notice he's a little bit off. That's fine. Let's hide him, highlight him. There we go. So now I've got him nestled perfectly in there. Good. So I'm going to make him 40 long, and he went the wrong way. So I'm going to use my arrow keys and kind of scoot him how I want him. And let's go down here. And let's do this. I want it to be perfectly in this guy here. So I'm going to go to the back, click him, and I'll use my arrow keys and back him up. And so notice I'm really just changing the numbers for the dimensions, and I'm using my arrow keys to move everything. I use my mouse a little bit, but my arrow keys mostly, because that makes it very, very precise. Good. Now, here's what I want to do. I want to make a piece, though, that is going to be separate from the red piece. So what I need to do is be thoughtful here. So I'm going to make an up and an over. If I put another green here that went this way, I could easily do that. But the problem, in fact, let's do that real quick. I'll show you. So I need to make it, the bottom's got to be at 40. I know that because of what I've done before, and I'll make him green. So I got that, and I'm just going to go ahead while I'm here, and I'm going to make him 40. Good, so he'll fit. So this is pretty basic. I know what I'm doing here. Does he fit right? Almost. So we'll go like this, get him perfectly nestled in. So that's great, but the problem is this. If I go like that and do this, then I'm going to make one giant shape. See what happens? Oh no, the whole thing turned red. I don't want that. I want a separate piece. So what I need to do, once I have this piece that looks good, then I'm just going to click this, pull him over here, click this bottom piece, pull him over here, make sure that they're perfectly aligned. Now, I always look at the shadows, but the shadows are not always perfect. But this would be perfect, so that's great. So then I'm going to highlight these two guys and click this, and now I have one piece. And so this one piece will then fit perfectly into here. And so I can make other pieces to make a cube or any shape that I want, and each piece is perfectly done with each other. Now I could also decide, you know, I want to have another green one at the bottom. That's not a problem. I can put this right there, go here, make it green, and because I'm just going to the bottom, I can just, well, I want to attach it, so what I'll probably do is pull this whole piece out and then just pull this guy in towards the bottom here and just scoot him along to get him aligned correctly. That looks good there. And this one here, that looks good there. So then I can highlight everything, and this will make that part of that one piece good. So now I can get everything put together, and I think I need to go up one there. There we go. And again, I have not even used my mouse at all. I've only used my arrow keys because it makes it much easier to be very, very precise with everything. So there we go. So those are two pieces, and I could keep building and make more and more pieces. So pretty handy to make some really intricate things. I hope you are now able to do this. Good luck.